All right, while we are waiting for others to join, yeah, I believe you have your I believe you have your slides
It's
ready.
here
Go
now.
ahead and share your screen. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and share your screen. You have 15 minutes, so please keep to that time, then 5 minutes for question. Over to you. Nafe, you can go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I want to be sure that you can all see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen, but we can't see your slide.
Yeah, no problem about that. I'll fix that now. So, Internet, please over to you.
Please, who is presenting? Can you make the slide screen to be the main screen and
Yes,
stop
sir.
the split? Yeah.
All right, sir. All right, sir. There's, I think there's a mode of presentation we want to do before we move ahead to the main slides. So we're waiting for Internet to kick off. So once she's
All
done with
right.
that part, we move
Guys,
directly
I'm
to
here.
the slides. All right, it's over to you.
Okay.
Yeah, we are still waiting.
Okay. So, good everyone. My name is Adibayo Tunu, and I will be opening the presentation for my team Koinophobia. Before we start, I want to start with a simple scenario on why our project matters. On the screen, you would see 4 medical prescriptions. One of them could put a patient's life at risk. One could get a pharmacist license revoked, and one looks completely real but isn't, and one is genuine. Please take a look at these prescriptions and which one can you say is real? Now, I know everyone here can probably spot the real one quickly, but the gap between what looks real and what is real, that is exactly why our project exists. In the real world, the margin for error is wide. Last quarter, CoinCare Pharmaceuticals had a near miss. A routine regulatory review flagged 3 prescriptions for controlled opioids that didn't match any known prescribers in the national registry. We were lucky that after 18 days of back and forth, NDLEA confirmed it was a clerical mismatch, not fraud. But board members, we all know, luck is not a compliance strategy. Today, we want to show you why this, we want to show you and we want to show you how we can ensure that this never happens again. Every controlled substance we dispense carries a hidden financial form. A single compliance breach can cost 5 to 50 million naira in fines, suspension of our pharmacy license, reputational damage, and even criminal review. Why? Because pharmacists cannot reliably verify who wrote the prescriptions, whether the doctor is licensed, whether the facility exists, whether this is part of a larger diversion pattern, or whether we are over dispensing compared to our internal limits. Our current system leaves room for fraud, error, and regulatory exposure. We envision CoinCare becoming the most compliant, risk-proof pharmacy chain in West Africa, one where every controlled drug prescription is authenticated, every transaction is traceable, and every anomaly triggers early warnings automatically. Our product is called Prescribe, a compliance intelligent platform for community pharmacists, and it ensures 3 things. One, every prescription is authentic, that is, doctor plus facility verification. Two, every controlled substance is traceable end to end. And three, Every unusual behavior is flagged before it becomes a liability. Prescribe turns compliance from a headache into a strength. Imagine a patient walks into any Coin-Care pharmaceutical store with a prescription. Before the pharmacist even blinks, Prescribe already verifies the doctor's license in real time, checks whether the drug matches the doctor's specialization, logs the dispensing events in a digitally controlled substance ledger, updates the store's controlled drug balance, and flag anomalies using machine learning. Now, no more second guessing, no more near misses, just clarity. Regulators are tightening controls, fraudulent prescriptions are increasing, and controlled drugs are now under national scrutiny. If we don't modernize now, we expose ourselves to heavy fines, reputational damage, operational disruption, and loss of license in certain territories. Now we want to know why machine learning is the right tool. Prescribe puts us ahead of the regulatory curve. We are not just building a black box. We are using transparent, explainable ML to spot doctors prescribing unusual volumes, patients shopping for prescription across multiple branches, pharmacies whose stock movements deviate from normal, and high-risk pattern tied to misuse or diversion. Every alert that comes with an explanation, not a mystery. Now, let's talk about the tangible business impacts, the ROI that makes the project undeniable. First, it reduces cost. We estimate that 30 to 45 million naira in annual losses can be prevented by stopping fraudulent prescriptions, drug diversions, and poor control of controlled drug stock. Regulatory fines can range from 2 million to 5 million per pharmacy for a compliance breach, Now multiply that by across all our network. The risk is significant. Two, the second tangible business impact is it protects revenue. Using Prescribe will reduce mixed sales or revenue leakage by 10 to 15% based on historical inventory discrepancies and a traceability of 100%, which ensures audit readiness and minimizes write-off. Another business impact, which is the third one, is it improves efficiency. That is, it cuts manual prescription verification time by 70 to 80%, thereby freeing staff to focus on patient care and reduce human errors in stock and prescription handling by 90%. And the last of the business impact is it enhances compliance and trust. Prescribe achieve 100% prescriber verification, minimizing regulatory exposure, and it also reduces the incidence of pharmacy level fraud or diversion to near zero through real-time monitoring. In short, this project doesn't just protect the company, it actively saves money, safeguards revenue, boosts operational efficiency, and builds trust with regulators and patients alike.
Before we talk about models or risk prevention, we need to talk about the raw fuel that makes this entire platform possible, our data. Today, between 40 to 50% of prescription-only medicines in the country are dispensed without proper authentication. Pharmacists want stronger controls, with 98% actively supporting better verification workflow. This tells us two things. The problem is massive, and the market is already primed for a solution like ours. We are sitting on prescription images, handwritten and digital, dispensing logs, controlled drug stock balances, and over a year of historical prescriber activity. This is not generic data. It's a high signal data that directly maps to fraud, compliance gaps, and operational risk. We're not building in isolation. We would integrate with EMR APIs for real-time e-prescriptions, the MDCN for real-time registration and verification of prescriber identity, the health facility registry for origin verification, and our internal inventory system for controlled drug tracking. Together, this gives us a 360-degree verification engine around every single prescription. Of course, our data is not perfect. Handwriting is inconsistent, so we plan to apply OCR and template normalization. Prescriber databases can be fragmented, so we'll build a unified validation layer. Dispensation logs are sometimes incomplete, so we would enforce structure capture and auto flagging. Stock records can be unstandardized, so we'll harmonize formats and run anomaly detection. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen accuracy and compliance. In summary, we have the data, the ecosystem, and the industry demand. What we need now is to transform these untapped assets into a platform that protects the company, safeguards the public, and closes the compliance gap permanently. Let's walk
Yeah,
through
five
how
minutes
we'll
remaining.
deliver this solution over the next 12 months. We have 4 phases. Phase one, the data pipeline setup, which will run for 4 months. We'll start by collecting registry data and pharmacy logs, clean and standardize and validate this data. This will ensure that there's a robust and accurate foundation for every downstream process, because even the smartest model are only as good as the data they are trained on. For phase two, with our clean data, we'll develop a model for outlier detection and rule-based anomaly engines. We'll integrate explainable AI and SHARP so that all flag patterns, whether unusual or for stock discrepancies, are transparent, auditable, and actionable for pharmacists and even compliance officers. For us, phase three, which is the MVP build, we'll be building our minimum viable product, which will check the prescriber verification API, the digital control drug ledger, and a basic dashboard with all the features that Prescribe has. Phase four is our testing and deployment phase. We'll be piloting with 2 to 3 pharmacies, and we'll be training users and making final adjustments to our MVP. To make this real, we've identified top risks and how we intend to handle them. One of them is poor data quality. Like we've stated, we'll be standardizing our data cleaning, schema alignment, and augmenting validation. We also have the problem of the second risk we have is black box ML decisions. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. Black box ML decisions. We plan to use interpretable anomaly detection and SHARP to show exactly why a pattern is triggered. Also, for low user adaptation by pharmacists, we plan to co-design with pharmacists to make it user-friendly and easy to adopt. For regulations around data sensitivity and data security, we would be making sure that all data collected, patient data, is fully anonymized and encrypted at rest and in transit so that it is NDPR compliant. And also for dependency on external registries, we plan to build fallback caches and periodically sync to avoid downtimes. We know the risk and we've engineered mitigations from day one. Now let's talk about what we need to make this real and to ensure that our company never comes close to a controlled drug substance compliance failure again. We're asking for $700,000 to build, scale, and maintain this program for for a 12-month cycle. First, we need access to verify prescribers, to track control drug movements and detect anomalies. We need access to national doctor and facility registries, our pharmacy dispensing logs, control drug stock database, and EMR partner API credentials. We also have a core team, a high impact squad of a full-time data scientist, a full-time data engineer, a business analyst, a clinical domain expert, an IT specialist, and a project manager. Each of these team players are bringing their individual expertise to our team to help us achieve our goal and to build Prescribe. Finally, the technology. We need access to our analytical environments, whether Snowflake or the present analytical environment of MedValue, of CoinCare. We need access to that. We need cloud resources for OCR, model training, and inference. In summary, this is a focused 12-month investment to protect our pharmacies, safeguard our license, and position us as the first chain with automated intelligent controlled substance compliance nationwide. Finally, let's talk about how we get started and why immediate approval matters. We're seeking executive approval and budget allocation of $7,000 to begin full development of the prescription verification and fraud prevention platform Prescribe. This investment will allow us to hit the ground running and ensure that our pharmacies remain compliant while safeguarding patient safety. Immediate next steps that we expect is to enable data access to prescription logs, dispensing history, and controlled drug stock records, provision of cloud environments with secured credentials for OCR, model training, and real-time inference. And also, we expect to have a kickoff sprint with the architecture design, API integrations, and prototype setup. We intend to begin phase 1 this month so we can move into full execution without delay. With your approval today, we can transform our data into a platform that prevents compliance risk, protect our pharmacies, and set a new standard for controlled substance management nationwide. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go back one slide. Sorry. Are you saying you need $700,000 or you say you need $7,000? I could see you are laughing at your $700,000 self. What do you want? What do you want? 700,000 or 7,000? You said 7,000 at the back slide. You said 700,000 here. What are you looking for? You are speaking on mute, FYI.
Sorry, you said I said 7,000.
Yeah, I heard 7,000 on the previous. So I wanted to be sure that you are correct on 700 or 7,000.
1,000. Oh, it's the slide that is correct.
It's the slide that is correct. Sean, you can go. I leave it to you. I'll come back. You're speaking of mute, Sean, just FYI too. Yeah.
Thank you. Keeps the noise down in the background. Thank you so much for the presentation. Fantastic. I loved from the mechanics of your delivery. Fantastic having fewer speakers. Great idea. Because that made the flow very, very smooth throughout. I love the elevator pitch. The presentation that one script, you presented one script can kill somebody, one script can cause a pharmacy to lose its license. Fantastic. I loved the business solution. There were many, many things I liked about this presentation. The solution itself, fantastic. The why is good. YML is the right tool and explanation. I love that you said it's the explanation, not the mystery. That was really nice. Your ROI slide was dead on for me. You covered all of the elements that I would expect to cover. My guidance would be to prioritize improving revenue or protecting revenue is how you stated it, over reducing costs and improving efficiency. I loved that you had enhanced compliance and trust. On the data slide, I loved how you said what makes this entire platform possible. The wording of your presentation was fantastic. The way you presented business outcomes was phenomenal. I love that you said industry readiness, the data foundation, integration data. I think your what was aspirational about that slide for me was the EMR APIs. That's difficult. That's expensive and difficult. And luckily, you addressed it in 2 slides later. Your roadmap, I think my guidance to you would be that you need a product manager view. The term MVP is used too broadly for a lot of people. And there are critical steps where you create the minimum viable category, you create the initial product release. Each one minimizes the risk of a particular aspect of as you move forward. MVP comes way later as you try to gain minimum viable traction and then repeatability. So that's one feedback I would give you there. It's a great start at it. The resources, fantastic. I loved how you introduced it as, now let's talk about what makes this real. Wonderful, wonderful wording and positioning. I question the 700K in 12 months for what you're trying to accomplish and how this would gain acceptance. Were you to actually build this, it was well presented, but those numbers are not quite realistic, would be my feedback. And I think that's what Ben caught on to. I didn't hear 7,000. I think that might have been a network sort of delay. Loved your last slide on executive approval and budget allocation. I absolutely praise you for writing in the call to action. Full development, to me, that's a no. The beginning sprint needs refinement on how you progress. So largely across the board, fantastic in all categories that we have in this rubric. That's my feedback to you. I really have no questions for you. And I do want to give you one more element of praise. In the proposed solution part, you identified the two things that are key to a lot of executives from a security perspective. You identified reputational damage and operational risk. Those are the golden words that will have a chief information security officer, a CIO, and other execs just absolutely, this will resonate with them. So fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you for letting me listen to your presentation.
Good job, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks so much, Sean. And thank you, guys, man. I actually love your presentation as well. Thank you for coming up with those first 4 prescription. However, I want to ask, how do we identify the fake one? Is that what Prescribe is going to do for us? That's a good one. So my feedback was, that was good, right? Good feedback. But I've got a few questions, and yeah, I've said this over and over. If anyone has been on this one, I love where the money is. I like to talk about the money. All right. And Shan is laughing at me. Man, I like to talk about the money. However, and yeah, the good thing is that you answer questions actually I've written down in your presentation. I was asking how you're going to get the doctor's detail, because you're talking about how you can tell the doctor, and then here you comes in your next slide, you need access to doctor's facility and registry, which is good. But understanding the constraint and dependencies about data quality and data availability and data scarcity within our space, we are not looking at Nigeria, right? But we need to roll up where we stay first. How do we get this data? How sure are we that these data, the quality of this data is what we expect? And I know that some part you have actually pointed out that you acknowledged it, and that was very good. Like Sean said, like good stuff. You guys actually were saying the things that an executive wants to hear. You already acknowledged that data quality and data is not accurate. I think it was who said that? It was you, Tinu, or Nafe. One of you actually mentioned that you understand that. So understanding that, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to build into that and ensure that these the data that we have, even if they are not accurate, how do we judge? And you know that this is AI. Sean is an architect in this. Is what you feed the system that it produces back to you. Is the data that you feed on it, the models feed on the data that you provide. So if you have an inaccurate data, we're probably going to get an inaccurate result. So how do we handle that? That's a very big question, especially for our environment. So that's a very big question that you didn't answer. However, we don't have the answer, but it's something you need to think about a whole lot more, right? So it's something you have to think about a whole lot more. Yeah. So on your numbers, I completely disagree. The ROI, I don't see the ROI probably. Maybe Sean sees something else, but I don't see that. If you're asking me for 700K to approve budget allocation of 700K for 1 year, what am I going to get back? I didn't see you detail that. How is Prescribe going to make money? As much as you're asking me to put money in it, I'm sitting here and an executive that you're telling, I want you to approve that we do this project. But I'm asking you back, how am I going to make money? Do I just put 700K because you have a very fantastic idea? So I don't see that ROI. I have not seen that. So how are we going to make money off of this? So you have to break that down, have a slide that details, oh, if you put this 700K down, we know we're going to do doctor registration. We know we have a team. Go back to your resource team where you have those doctors and stuff. Like, let me speak to that place. No, not this MVP. Yes, here. So your acts, right? I know you have a core team. You know what you need access to this. You need technology, right? On each one of these aspects of them, how much are we putting specifically for this one? And how are we going to get the money back? Very crucial question. I need that on the net. If you're going to present again or you're going to do something, take that as a feedback. If you're talking to an executive, you're talking to an investor, you're asking for something, give the person an ROI. I'm putting down something. What am I getting back? I need to see that aspect where you show what I'm going to get back. How is Prescribe going to make money? How is it going to be deployed? Are people are going to be using it? Is it going to be the pharmacies? Are they going to use it and all of that? What is the money? How is it going to make money? So put that, and then yeah, your presentation is quite fantastic. And honestly, the fact that it was just two people talking, the flow was beautiful. I've lost that in some of the presenters, and we've said that you have done a presentation. You have actually tried to sell what you want to do. What is your next step? Goes back to the next step of building this product. I hope at the end of the day, we're going to see this product come live. And I'm just giving you my word that I'll be part of this. I'll be happy. This is me volunteering to be happy to see this product come to life. So any help you need, any support you need, feel free to reach out to us and let's support you. Make this a product that is live, that we can take to pharmacies or we can take to even NDLA or anybody to bring this to life. So this is what we can offer. This is one of the things we'll be happy to support you on, but we need to see something that will also make the product give somebody else money. You said make money off of it as well. Don't come and build product because you know how to code. Right? Thank you so very much for your time.
If I could ask a question, just adding on to what you said, Ben.
Yeah.
My question to the group is, who is your target audience? Who are you selling this to?
Exactly.
Is it insurance companies?
You see, I tried to solution that for you, but you didn't actually state that. So who are you selling this to? Is it to the pharmacies? Is it to the insurance? Is it to hospitals? Who are you? Maybe I get a prescription because most hospitals have they have a pharmacist attached to each hospital. So I take prescription, I go to the pharmacy and it dispenses drugs. That's how it works in country. But in some other places, you can go to a hospital, go to a different pharmacy and get your prescription from the different pharmacy. So who is your audience? Who are you targeting here? That wasn't here, but that's something you need to actually, in fact, tell us, let's even know, and then something you need to think about as well. You guys don't know who your audience is? You're all looking.
Yes, we know, sir.
Okay, tell us.
All right.
Who's your
Our
targeted market?
audience are the head of pharmacy. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, so
Yes.
you're targeting the pharmacist.
The head of the pharmacies, yes, and the state hospitals, stroke federal and the private owned hospital as well. Then we also targeting insurance company that offers health solutions. We're also targeting them as part of our target audience as well. So those are the three frontiers we are planning to work with at the moment.
So if I ask you a question, this is prompt another question. Sean, you have a question on that? Let me go. Okay, so if you're targeting them, so it's a wrong target audience, trust me, if you're saying this. If you're targeting a hospital that has a pharmacy attached to it, a doctor, if I'm a doctor in a hospital and I prescribe a drug and I walk into my pharmacy, I know that it's Dr. Ben that said I should come and give you this drug. So why will they need a prescribe to validate what Dr. Ben, that I am the pharmacist to Dr. Ben is? Number one, if you're targeting the assurance company, like the HMO companies and the likes of them, they don't prescribe drugs. They don't even care. They just know they assure that you get this thing and you go there. If you're targeting, maybe the pharmacist should be a target. But if you're looking at targeting pharmacy, how do we ensure that we get money? I give you 700K. How do I make $1 billion out of 700K? Because this is almost $1 million. So how do I make 10 times or even 5 times? Yes, go ahead. I'm listening. We have just about a minute to go, please, guys.
All right. The most important target audience are community pharmacies. In this part of the world, most patients from the hospital prefer to buy their drugs from community pharmacies. And there have been cases of patients coming to a community pharmacy with incorrect or invalidated prescriptions. Probably someone in their neighborhood can be a medical doctor, then write them opioid. And I know the most important part of drug that why this prescribed is very, very needed in the community is because of non-opioid drug and drugs. We call them control pharmacy drugs that need to be only by a medical doctor. So these are prescribed. It should be a service, should be something that would immediately flag a wrong
prescription. What I mean by a wrong prescription in that sense is that a prescription that was not prescribed by a licensed medical doctor. And that is why it will be integrating the Medical and Dental Council data to know the license number of the doctor and the facility too. In fact, if the doctor is not practicing in a particular facility, it can still work because the license would be validating, its license number or registration number will be validating that it's a medical doctor. All right, that's my answer.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
But we won't be able to make money off of that community farmers. Anyways, let's not worry about that. Thank you. Very nice presentation.
Thank you for the
Good job.
presentation.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
and cheers.
All right. Thank you, team. You can now leave the room so that the last team can present.
Thank you. Bye-bye.